and welcome. I apologize for jumping on a little later. We had a little technical, I've had a lot of technical surprises while working at home. We are so honored to be able to work with the Gale Professional Library people. They are really part of a bigger organization called Cengage. But we so appreciate working with Andrea and Lori. Lori's our primary trainer and contact for our district. But what I want to point out is this isn't something just for professional development and learning. We're offering some materials specifically for the professional library of JCPS educators, whether instructional classified, or administrators. But we also are in partnership with this group working to supply our library media specialists and our classroom teachers with instructional materials for literacy. And then on top of that, we have our curriculum design and learning innovation department. They also are working closely with our Gale resources to bring curriculum and instructional strategies to the classroom. So I want you to know that this is a partnership working very close in hand across the district. And my prediction is that there will be other departments working and schools working with this organization as we build our collections and what we can offer for online and virtual kinds of experiences. The other thing, if you're just joining us today, is we are building on a series. We started with just talking about eBooks, and then we talked to you a little bit about, instead of book studies, maybe doing text studies, taking a particular topic and then finding out information on that as you build your knowledge. And then yesterday we had a great hands-on kind of application where we left with the product and being able to do that research. And then Lori did a great job of showing us how we could send that to Google, how we could send notes to people we're working with or to ourselves. So if you're just joining us today, whether you are a leader among leaders, or if you're a leader among your team, a coach, a principal, AP, or if this is something that you do, you're looking at a strategy with students, there is something here today for you. And thanks for being gracious and allowing me to say a few words, but I'll let you jump back in it. Thank you, Lori.
Sure. So I am going to go ahead and, pull all of my different ones. So hopefully you are able to see my PowerPoint. I am going to breeze through these pretty quickly because I'm not a PowerPoint person. I like to think that we learn better by doing. And that's what we're going to do today. This is a text set creation that's all about feedback. So just quickly, I want to let you know that your ebook collection, your professional development ebooks, they do align to the Danielson framework for teaching. The screenshot here on the right is exactly what your virtual library will look like. There are multiple ways for you to access this collection, and that is really just for you so that it's easy to get there. One way is to use the JCPS Library Media Services LibGuide. I'm going to show you that way today. Also know that these will live on a link in the Professional Development and Learning portal. I know several schools in the district have also put a link directly to this collection on their website. But regardless of how you get there, this is going to be the icon that lets you know this is what you're looking for. It is the Gale eBooks, and it is your professional collection. When you click on that, regardless of where you click from, you will be asked to sign in. Your password is JCPS PD. It is not case sensitive. So just again, JCPS PD. And once you enter your password, your screen will look again like that. So just to quickly recap, we talked about the book study and how you would do an effective book study, identifying these 5 things: your audience, your goal, your book, the format and platform, and the ability to facilitate and follow through. That was part of our Gale eBooks 102. If you would like more information about that, I know that that is archived in the YouTube channel, so please feel free to go back and watch it. But more importantly, we wanted to work with text sets. And just to review, that's going to be when you pull in multiple texts that all work toward your goal. It allows you to find multiple perspectives. It gives different voices. Sometimes you're going to have research-based sort of analytical content. Other times you're going to have that commentary. It definitely supports teachers so that everybody has a way into the topic. And it's a great way of doing inquiry-based investigation. I do want to remind you that as you begin this, and if you're looking for a specific topic to support your personalized professional learning and you find that there's not enough content, go ahead and reach out to the PDL department. They are going to be happy to look over that and work with you to get more content. These are ideas that I'd like to share with you each day because I know that undertaking a book study or a text set study, it can seem like a lot, especially given all that we're juggling with the end of the year and NTI. But once we get through today, even if you just save yourself one chapter or one article, you can push that out as a way to start. And these are ideas. I know at my old school where I was teaching, we would always get what we called Wellness Wednesday. And it was actually sent out by our nurse. So even though we're talking about professional development, like Dr. Isaac said, this isn't just for one group of employees. Everyone across the district can and should utilize this collection. But you could do Motivational Mondays if you are a leader. Maybe you're a grade level leader or a building level leader. Just kind of push out a short little paragraph that says, hey, we've got this. We're all in this together. You also have Teamwork Tuesdays. So maybe if you are a social studies person, you could find some sort of way to support project-based learning or an inquiry model and share that with your team. Whatever Goes Wednesday. Like I said, at my building, we did Wellness Wednesday, and the nurse would actually send out information. Talk About It Thursday, or Just For Me Friday. That is a great time to do sort of mindfulness to where you could do that self-care. Today, though, we are talking about feedback. And feedback is more important than ever. Because we're in this virtual environment, you can't simply say, this is right or this is wrong. I know I have 3 children, and it frustrates me when their work is simply a Google form and all they get is either right or wrong. They don't get that feedback. It doesn't help them to learn. So we need to make sure we understand what learning looks like. And we as teachers, we know what learning looks like. We know it can be messy. We know what to listen for. We can see that learning. And we make those choices constantly in our classroom to help those students sort of weave their new learning with their old learning, that prior knowledge. And we know what questions to ask them when they get stuck, or when we see their work from a different angle, we can help them sort of move forward. And it's that weaving together that's not always neat. I mean, let's face it, there are a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of starting and stopping. There's a lot of going off on tangents and trying different things. But we see that ourselves. Parents don't often see that. What they are going to be visualizing from home is that struggle. It is that mess. And for them, they don't understand that. They are thinking, this work is too much or it's too hard, whereas all they really need is a quick little redirection and they're going to be able to make those connections. So with NTI, we really need to make sure that we're helping our students by providing accurate and useful and timely feedback, not simply good job or wrong and not right. So we are going to explore. All week long, we have been going in to your professional development collection using the JCPS LibGuide. Now, I did go ahead and clear my cookies so that I could walk you through this. And at this time, what I'm going to encourage everyone to do is to minimize me. Minimize the video call. And I want you to open up a new tab and I want you to walk through this with me. It's going to be kind of a guided lesson and we're going to do this together so that you can experience it, you can feel it and get over those sort of bumps in the beginning. And when I leave you today for the week, you're going to be ready to utilize everything. So hopefully by now you have opened a new tab. You are simply, and I'm going to drop my microphone. I hope you'll still be able to hear me. Type in JCPS LibGuide. When I do that search, it is going to be my very first return. When I click on it, this is my screen. Just at a quick glance, you are going to see another Gale icon here. This is Gale in Context for Educators, and this is where we are working with your curriculum department. It's a wonderful resource. I encourage you, when you have a moment, to definitely dive into that. I know we've done some professional development sessions on that as well that should be saved in the YouTube channel. But today we are looking at the Gale eBooks Professional Collection. When you click on that, you will be prompted for your password. I'm going to go slow so that I make sure everybody's sort of following along. Your password is JCPSPD. It is not case sensitive. And when you sign in, here you go. This is exactly what it looks like. You do have all of the thumbnails here at the middle where you can click into a book. You do have the Danielson framework along the left where you have the learning domains as well as the dimensions within each domain. And these are tied to your teacher evaluation system. This collection was originally purchased to support new teachers and really that pedagogy aspect of it. You can also, here in the middle, you only see the 4 thumbnails, but notice the 40 within the parentheses. That lets you know that there are 40 ebooks that align to domain 1. You can, of course, toggle left and right. You can check your title list if there is something specific you want to jump to because you've been using that book and you want to get back to it. But today what we're going to do is use the search bar. Let's face it, we're all short on time, and that's usually the quickest and easiest way. And since today we are discussing feedback, that's exactly what I am going to search. Pausing for just a moment to make sure everybody's kind of with me. You can see with my search, I had 310 results for feedback. So technically, I have a text set right here. I have 310 chapters that align to my search term of feedback. It's not realistic to think that I'm going to read all of those. So what I'm going to suggest doing is jumping here to my topic finder. The topic finder is going to give me a visual representation. So I'm looking at feedback. What about feedback? Curriculum development, lesson plans, classroom techniques. Maybe it's teaching methods. When I click on teaching methods, my results populate here at the side, and I'm going to get a little snippet, 1 or 2 sentences about what each chapter is. Thinking aloud, I'm going to read this. It's a new experience every day, a principal's voice. There is no setting in which the concept, not feeling it. Keep reading. And after I've looked over a few of these, if it's not what I'm looking for, I'm going to reset my topic finder because I believe feedback in the teacher-student relations is probably where I need to be. So culture either makes or breaks effort to promote school success. You simply can't build effective learning community without relationships, communication, and trust. Maybe these aren't exactly what I was looking for, and that's okay. One of the great things about this is I have the ability to jump back and do a different search. The thing that you find, or at least that I have found a lot of times, is when I think the search term may be feedback, maybe something I want to consider is an alternative search term, such as assessment, because that really is what feedback is. It is a formative assessment so that you can help the student along in their learning process. And here I got 434 results, which is huge. Starting my topic finder again. Language, lesson plans, instructional design. I am going to jump into student evaluation. I'm going to start to read these snippets of information and see moving assessment into the 21st century. Well, that absolutely sounds like something I need with this virtual learning model. I have clicked into an article. So what you're seeing now is a content level article. Looking at it, I see that my title is Assessing 21st Centuries. Is a great thing to do. Here at the right, I have the explore more. So this is going to be things that I might want to go to next. What do you think you're talking to? Creating a climate for formative assessment. That sounds great. And then here I have some related subjects that might also help me as I'm trying to create my text set. I do want to show you quickly because I look at the clock and I'm running out of time. When you find an article that you like and you are wanting to share this with a colleague, with a building, with whomever, I'm going to come in and I'm going to interact with my document in some way. As soon as I select some text, I have the ability to highlight it, to take some notes, and whatever notes that I have here are going to appear in the document when I share with others. I'm terrible at talking and typing, so forgive the mumbo jumbo that I just added. But you can see it has already populated up here. Kind of going back through, here looks like it might be a great thing to share. So we have missions 1 and 2. And these could be used as tasks that you might want to challenge your teachers to try. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to do it in blue. I'm going to take a note. Give these a try. When I save that, there are a few things that I want to share with you in case you haven't joined us in the prior sessions. Now that I've interacted with my document, I can share this to Google Classroom. I can push this out. I can set it up as an assignment so I can see who has opened it and who has finished it. I can also send to my Google Drive, my OneDrive. I can send it to an email. So if you are an administrator and you have an email list already created of everyone in your organization, sending it via email might be a great way. Super quick and easy. You can also use this Get Link tool, and this link creates a persistent URL. So if you wanted to post this in your backpack, if you wanted to post this on your website, wherever it may be, you simply are going to select it, you're going to copy it, and then the link is yours to post out. But looking at this, Andrea and I spent some time kind of preparing for this and talking about it, and your collection is a wonderful collection that speaks to traditional teaching. We are in an anything but traditional teaching model right now. And Gail has an ethos that says, put learning first. And as such, we have offered a significant amount of content with open access right now. And I want to share that with you because we have an entire professional development collection about virtual learning that has open access that I'm going to encourage you to look at in addition to your current collection. And you get there this way. You are simply going to type Gail COVID support. Gail COVID support. And when I do that search, my first return right here is the link that I am looking for. And don't worry, I will walk you through that one more time because I really want you to be able to access this. You have this green button once you are on the COVID support site to where you can access those open resources.
Lori?
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just put the link for the open resources in the chat as well as all of the other links that you've been on. So
perfect.
It's there for any of the attendees to find.
That is amazing. And I'm going to encourage you once you get there, go ahead and bookmark it. Save yourself those steps so that later on you don't go, gosh, where was that link, or have to go back and watch the video again. Bookmark it. It will ask you for a little bit of information, and that's okay. I'm working from home today, so I don't have a library or an institution. My zip code here in Ohio. And then I need to check that I am not a robot. Once I submit, of course, my internet is going to be a little slow this morning. I'm not a robot. Submit. Here we go. So this is the actual COVID site. This is where I would encourage you to bookmark it. And it asks me to name it. That's fine. Looking here, as I scroll down, you are going to see all of the amazing resources that Gail is offering with open access. We do have Miss Humblebees. We have Kids Info Bits, middle school. You will have a description of what each of those are. We even have Gail in Context Canada for the moment. We have some social emotional learning resources for your students. And as I continue to scroll down, you are going to see the Gale eBooks. You even have Gale in Context Science and Science Interactive. When I click into the Gale eBooks, here is your virtual learning professional development. I only have 8 minutes left, so I do kind of want to scroll through the titles that are available to you. Speaking about feedback, right now it is so important that we look at it from a virtual learning platform. We have information that is going to help you significantly. You can see right here, there are just 2 things all about the Google Suite that can help you today. You do have digital citizenship. You have effective digital learning environments. How powerful is that? Hacking digital learning strategies. This is a title that I have seen people use all across the country, even before we were in an NTI model. But for the sake of time, I do want to again come up here and search feedback, because that is what we are talking about today. And I have 83 results that are going to help me to set up my text set for feedback. Personalizing feedback. And I know this is Google Apps for Littles, but don't think that just because it says that this is going to be an elementary school title only. So many of the things that we use in the upper grades relate to those early learning grades. Communication is key to everything. Tech tools to support ELA. Assessing work. Oh, I meant to open in a new tab. Pardon my misclick. Assessing work online. These are the articles that are going to help you now. And I know that this is free and open access, that you do not own this collection. So I want to make sure that I emphasize right now, if you find an article, if you love the article, if you interact with the article, you need to save it. You need to share it to your Google Classroom. You need to download it to your computer, or you need to send it to your Google Drive. Now, even when the open access ends, and I'm not saying when it's going to end because I honestly don't know, but I'm hoping that the shelter in place ends soon. I'm getting a little stir crazy. Once you have sent this to your Google Drive or your Google Classroom, you will still have access to it. So even when the free and open access is gone, know that any work you have saved will still be your work. So make sure you're sending it there. And just kind of looking at this, reading it together, it takes time to give feedback and return papers. This is exactly what you're going to need. Reading on, teachers do not need to grade everything. As a person who might be sharing this out, I would just come in here and I would highlight all of this great information. The students themselves are the valuable resource. Grades are not always the most important factor. This is great information. And what I can do after I have made all of these highlights, if I want something sort of short and sweet to give to my teachers to where they don't need to read this entire 26-page document, my notes and highlights are all saved under this icon. I can click to view all highlights and notes, and I can now just send those highlighted sections to my teachers. Talk about making it small, digestible chunks of information that you can really encourage professional development across your organization, but in a manageable way that's not going to overwhelm the teachers. This is it. And from here, if I were to send to my Google Drive, lets me know that they have been sent to Google Drive and they will appear there shortly. That information is now mine. When open access is gone, I have kept the information that is most valuable to me. You can also return to the entire document using that hyperlink. At this point, I would also encourage you to look at the more to explore, because look at that. The very first return in the more to explore is blended learning. I'm not sure what's happening in the state of Kentucky. I am in Ohio, and I know that the conversation has already shifted to the fall, and schools are planning for a blended learning environment. We don't anticipate a return to normal, if you will. So having that, the role of the teacher in a blended learning model, this information could be your lifesaver in this moment. And I know that the year is almost over. So this information, saving it to your Google Drive now, can be your personalized professional learning all summer long. Time is of the essence. I get it. We are all trying to wrap up learning at the end of the year and get grades and take care of all of that necessary work. But going in and saving things at this point could truly help you come the fall. So I only have about 3 minutes left. So what I'm going to do is again show you how to get to this site with the virtual learning titles. It was Gale, Gale, COVID support. The very first return, if you actually want, and I think Andrea shared this link for you, which is an amazing thing, access the open resources. It will ask you for some simple information. This is just to help us track when people are logging in. It helps us with our publishers and those sort of agreements. Have all of my information, submit. And when you get here, you're gonna want to bookmark it. Scrolling through, if you have time and time is on your side, by all means explore these. I know that many of us educators are also parents, so go ahead and look at the other resources that are available. We have kindergarten readiness, we have elementary school. These are also available to you in your For Educators platform. The Canada is not, and personally, I've never gone into that. I might try to find some time this afternoon to delve into it. Social emotional learning for your elementary and your high school students, open access, share these, use these, they're there for you. But the Gale eBooks is where you are again going to find that professional learning platform. So I'm down to less than a minute. I hope you were able to take something away from today. I have started a text set for you that speaks to feedback in a virtual learning environment. I will make sure to share that Google Drive with Dr. Isaacs so that we can put that out to everyone, and hopefully it will give you that sort of stepping stone to get the process started.
Lori, there have been several comments and questions in the chat that Dr. Isaacs and I have been kind of keeping up with those, but we did share some links out. I also shared out the support.gale.com training tutorial link for their short little 2 to 3 minute videos that kind of give you a refresher on all the things Lori covered, whether that is just simple searches or it's using the topic finder tool. All of those really good things, and they're in little tiny video chunks that are sort of easy for you to grab if you need help.
All right, and with that, we are out of time. But thank you all for joining us. Thank you for putting up with us for an entire week. It has been our pleasure to spend this time with you, and I wish you all a wonderful end to your NTI and a great weekend.